The device waited above the stone floor like a patient insect of metal, narrow at the shaft, heavy at the head, silent but already warm. The chamber was low and old, its walls sweating with age, its air thick with oil smoke and damp breath. Iron hooks lined the walls, unused for now, while the lead sprinkler hung from a chain fixed into a beam darkened by centuries of heat. Its shape was unmistakable, a long tapered handle leading to a rounded bulb perforated with dozens of small holes, each one carefully drilled, evenly spaced, designed not for speed, but for certainty. The condemned man was placed directly beneath it, knees on stone, upper body stripped bare. His skin caught the candlelight in uneven tones, pale at the chest, darker at the shoulders where old labor scars lived. The face was forced upward by restraint and posture alone, not by hands, not by cruelty of grip, but by the geometry of the punishment. The device demanded the face. It demanded the throat, the eyes, the mouth. It demanded attention. The lead sprinkler was not a weapon in the common sense. It was not swung, not thrust, not driven by muscle. It was an instrument of gravity and heat. The shaft was iron, sometimes bronze in wealthier courts, long enough to keep the operator safely distant. The bulb at the end was thick, heavy, often lined with lead or filled entirely with molten metal or boiling oil. The perforations were the soul of the device. Too large and the liquid would pour too quickly, ending the act. Too small and it would cool before reaching flesh. The balance was learned through repetition, through memory passed between attendants, through failure quietly corrected. In some cities along the Rhine, records later hinted that the bulb was heated in a brazier until the metal inside shimmered but did not yet glow. In parts of northern Italy, whispered accounts claimed oil was preferred, scented faintly with pitch, its slower flow prolonging the act. In ecclesiastical courts farther south, rumor held that molten lead was reserved for crimes touching heresy or betrayal, its weight and temperature believed to carry moral symbolism as much as physical consequence. The chain creaked softly as the device was lowered into position. Not enough to touch. Not yet. Heat bled downward invisibly. The air beneath the bulb wavered. The condemned man breathed through his nose, shallow, careful, instinct already shaping behavior for pain that had not fully arrived. His eyes were open, fixed on the rounded metal above him. Later accounts would claim that some victims screamed before the first drop fell. Others said the opposite, that silence was common, that the body understood too well what was coming. The first drop formed slowly, swelling at the lip of a perforation. It did not fall immediately. Surface tension held it there, trembling, reflecting the chamber in miniature, stone, flame, flesh. Then it broke free. It fell not fast, but decisively. When it struck the skin below the eye, it did not splash. It flattened, clung, and spread, heat transferring instantly, purposefully. The skin reacted before the mind could. Muscles tightened, breath caught. The head jerked by instinct but found nowhere to go. More drops followed, not a stream, never a stream. The lead sprinkler was designed to deny rhythm. Drops fell at uneven intervals from different holes, striking different parts of the face and chest. One along the cheekbone, another across the collarbone, a third caught the edge of the mouth. The oil or lead cooled as it spread, darkening, hardening, marking the body with irregular stains that would not be washed away. Whispers spread in later years that some magistrates adjusted the device mid-execution, raising or lowering it to control cooling time. Some claimed attendants blocked certain holes with wax to shape the pattern of pain. Others said this was myth, a story grown in taverns and confessionals. What cannot be disputed is that the device was adaptable. It allowed the punishment to be extended far beyond what a blade or rope would permit. The chamber filled with a smell difficult to describe, not blood, not smoke, but something heavier, oil mixed with scorched skin, metal meeting flesh. The condemned man's chest rose and fell in sharp, uneven motions. His bare torso twisted against restraint, muscles pulling against cords that had been tied not to break bones, but to prevent collapse. Collapse would end the act too soon. This was not about speed. In some accounts from the Low Countries, chroniclers wrote of lead sprinklers mounted permanently in court chambers, visible reminders of authority. In parts of the Holy Roman Empire, they were brought out only for special cases, kept wrapped in cloth, treated almost as relics of judgment. In one legend from a border town near Bohemia, it was said that the device itself was never cleaned, that residue from past executions was left intentionally, believed to carry fear into the next sentence. Modern scholars doubt this, yet the superstition endured. Drops continued to fall. Each one landed with purpose. The face began to change. Not through gore, not through spectacle, but through tension. The eyes squeezed shut, then opened again reflexively. The jaw tightened. The neck cord stood out sharply under the skin. The body learned quickly that movement brought nothing but fresh contact. Still it moved. Still it resisted. That was part of the design. The magistrate observed without expression. Records from municipal courts in northern France suggest that officials were instructed to remain visible during such punishments, to embody the law in flesh and cloth. The absence of reaction was itself a message. Justice did not flinch. Justice did not hurry. As minutes passed, the bulb above was reheated slightly, not enough to glow, just enough to renew the threat. The chain was raised, then lowered again. Each adjustment altered the fall. Drops that cooled mid-air before now struck hotter. Those that once spread now clung longer. The condemned man's skin bore the evidence of these calculations, dark trails crossing pale muscle, irregular and permanent. There were stories later denied that some victims lost sight during the process, not from direct contact but from reflex and swelling. Others claimed voices failed long before bodies did, throats tightening, breath reduced to animal sounds. What remains certain is that the lead sprinkler was meant to be endured, not escaped. Death, when it came slowly, sometimes hours later, sometimes days, through shock, infection, or exhaustion. When the device was finally lifted away, the chamber did not immediately change. Heat lingered, smell lingered. The condemned man remained kneeling, breathing shallow, skin-marked, eyes unfocused. The punishment had ended, but its work continued inside the body. In some courts, the victim was returned to a cell to die unseen. In others, the body was displayed, not as spectacle, but as warning. The lead sprinkler was cleaned then, or sometimes not. It was returned to storage or left hanging. It waited. It always waited. Not as an object of rage, but as a tool refined by law, ritual, and repetition. It did not need cruelty to function. It needed only gravity, heat, and time. And when later generations passed through those chambers, running hands along cold stone, looking up at beams scarred by old chains, some claimed they could still smell oil, still feel warmth where none should remain. Whether that was memory or imagination mattered little. The device had done its work too well. If justice once flowed drop by drop from perforated metal onto living skin, how much of it was law, and how much was simply patience dressed as authority?